Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we want to take a look again at the Master League, which is still going to be available right now for another week, or actually for 2 weeks, because we're going to have like all leagues available in a week basically. So actually going to have 4 cups at the same time in 1 week, which are going to be interesting for the next one. But yeah, we're going to still have the Master League available, and today we're going to take a look at the Pokemon Yveltal. This Pokemon is one of them that I really would like to build. I'm currently a little bit short on starters, so I kind of want to take a look at this Pokemon in general, because I feel like it's going to be one of the best Pokemon in the current meta. Why is this the case? There are a lot of Pokemon like the Mewtwo, which are Psychic type, like the Giratina Origin, which is completely getting evolved by this Pokemon as well. And as well as you have like a ton of energy advantage, you will be able to do a lot of damage against something like as well as Dialga. You have Focus Blast on this Pokemon. So while you have to be a little bit careful about other Zacians, it's kind of a cool Pokemon to use in the current meta. Here we can actually see that you're still going to be able to go for another close combat here, which is going to be very decent for you, as you're going to be able to knock out the opponent. This is exactly the matchup that I mean before. You will be able to usually hardwall the opponent here, but not if they're running the move Ice Beam. I'm pretty sure this is just a side strike, and that's a very good call by you that you're going to let this move go through. This is the only way of winning this game here for you, otherwise I would get to another Ice Beam. And like this, you're going to be able to just barely reach the Dark Pulse in time. Very nice play there by you, but of course, very interesting to see an Ice Beam version of Mewtwo. Next opponent, we're going to see here the Dialga Lady. You can just basically play this out, go for one close combat, and even swap out then, which is exactly what you're going to try to do here. This forces the opponent to shield up the move, and you can swap out theoretically into your own Dialga, but you can also stay in here trying to go for another charge move, as you can shield up the opponent's charge move as well. They're going to swap out into their own Zacian, which is pretty okayish for you, but you kind of have to stay in here right now. Yeah, gonna go for one wild charge, you can go for another wild charge, and you can shield up the opponent's charge move coming through afterwards as well if you want to, but you're going to swap out into your own Dialga. I would maybe even shield here. You're going to shield here. It's going to be the close combat coming in, and we'll see the opponent's Dialga coming in now as well. Gonna go straight for the Draco, I guess, but no, the opponent going to get their charge move first. Going to be the Draco Media as well, and now you're going to have a tough call to make. Are you gonna go into the Yveltal trying to win with that Pokemon, or are you gonna go into your Zacian? You're gonna go into your Zacian, which is now going to get locked into the opponent's Giratina here, which is going to be really awkward for you. What you can do now though is you can boost up to 100 energy with your Yveltal, which is going to be the only play that you can do here in order to win this game, which you're going to try to do as well, because you have to outspeed the opponent's Dialga. You have to go for 100 energy here, otherwise there's no way of winning this game. Let's see what the opponent tries to do. They're going to let this move go through, and now you have to outspeed them. If you don't outspeed them, it's going to be over. You have a few moves advantage there. It's going to be literally a one-turn advantage that you need, and you're going to get there just in time. This is a very, very good for you, as you can go ahead and knock them out with that one. Very well played. Saw the opportunity there to go to 100 energy in order to win the game. It's like those things that is really important in PvP, trying to find your win con. It sounds always like kind of easy, but sometimes it's a little bit tricky to see what the play is that you have to make in order to win a game. If you just always play it straightforward and go for your charge moves immediately, this can really hurt you in the long run. Here we're going to see the Giratina coming in, which is not a good say-so if you have Yveltal in the back, which is kind of rare, but this is why usually a lot of people run a Giratina say-so, because not a lot of people run Yveltal because of the Zacian, but like this, you're just going to be able to farm them all the way down, I think. I don't even know if you have to throw another charge move here. Shadow Ball still actually does way more damage than I expected it would do, but you have now 100 energy, getting out of this matchup now with equal shields, and we see the Focus Blast coming through. Please land. And it doesn't land, and we're going to see a Ho coming in, which you're going to be able to go for on charge move here now. This is fine for you. You can go ahead and go into your Dialga now, or you go into the Zacian, go for the wild charge. Both of them are fine. It literally doesn't really matter what you're going to do here. It's going to be an easy game for you anyway at this point of time. I feel like you can no shield this one actually. Interesting play there. I most likely would have done in general the entire play a little bit differently. I would have most likely went straight into my Dialga instead, but still going to be fine. Again, another Ho on the lead here. You will be able to go ahead and go for one wild charge eventually if you want to. This is just a CMP tie here actually, which is going to be an interesting one, because you have to shield now, but the opponent also shielded up your charge move, which is going to be fine. Sacred Fire coming through, doesn't get the debuff, which is amazing for you. You're going to throw here already. That's definitely smart. I think it's going to be just before they get to the Brave Bird, which should be fine for you, as you can now shield up the charge move from the opponent. Another Sacred Fire, another like one where you don't get the debuff, which is really insane, because it's something that usually happens 50% of the time and you didn't get it twice. But one close combat gonna put the opponent into a range where your Dialga can farm them down. This is amazing for you. You have to go for the Draco, and you get to the Draco to knock out the opponent. This is such a favorable matchup for you right now, and we see the opponent having the Rayquaza in the back. They even go for another charge move against you here to knock you out. This is a game. There's nothing that the opponent can do here anymore. I wouldn't have done what you did here right now, by the way. They can farm you down. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. I guess it just makes it a little bit faster. I guess I would have went into my Yveltal instead first, but still going to be fine here. We see the Zacian in the lead against the Zacian as well, which both having the move Quick Attack. And you're going to see here the stare down of the Zacians. Who's throwing first going to lose it. You're going to throw here first, which is kind of risky, but you're going to see the opponent throwing now as well after you. It's going to be a wild shot onto your Dialga. This is an amazing play here by you. This is really advanced. As you're going to see the close combat gonna get shielded now. You will be able to outspeed them to the Draco Media, but they would be able to go for the Iron Head here if they wanted to, but I think they're just going to commit to the full farm down here against you, which is definitely a smarter way to go. You could argue that, yeah, okay, you're gonna go into your Zacian. Actually, they don't throw the charge move for whatever reason. This is a wild. You will be able to go for the close combat, gonna get the shield there, and you will be able to catch the Iron Head. This is an amazing play again. This is so well played here so far from this player. This is really, really cool to see. As you see another Draco actually coming through, that's going to be now a little bit tricky again. We see the full farm down against the opponent's Zacian. There has to be something in the back that you can deal with. It's going to be the Dragonite. There's going to be still a tough matchup. I feel like you kind of have to stay in here and try to overfarm to another move here and shield this charge move up, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. They're literally playing perfectly right now. As we see the wild charge coming through, it's going to do enough damage to knock out the opponent's Dragonite here, and this is going to be a good game as the close combat. Going to be enough to finish up against the opponent's Dialga. But honestly, so nicely played there. A very, very strong gameplay here so far. Next opponent, we're going to see a Mamoswine. Mamoswine going to be very, very decent in general against you because you're going to have nothing that really resists anything, and you have some Pokemon that are a little bit weak at least against it, as it's going to be able to hit a lot of Pokemon very decently in the meta, but not if it goes down immediately. You can swap into your Dialga and you're going to get out the Dialga from the opponent. That's already a good game here at this point of time. There's nothing the opponent can do anymore. Literally nothing that they can do. You can go for the bait here. They even get the shield from the opponent, but like, what are they trying to do now? Like, you could even shield this move up if you wanted to. You're not going to do that, but it's fine. You can go ahead and go into your Zacian, go for the own close combat here in order to try to knock them out. You're going to get the KO, and the Giratina are going to have the greatest time, of course, against the incoming Yveltal there. It's going to be an easy game. But yeah, very nice gameplay so far. This is going to be an RPS one. Otherwise, if you're interested in coaching, there would be also a link in the description, by the way, if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Recently started on MetaFi. If you're interested, there's a link in the description. Had a lot of fun in the coaching sessions I did before, so yeah, going to be an interesting one. If you're interested in this, always link in the description. Might be even more interesting for a lot of people at the end of the season, but just want to say again, as you're going to see the next matchup here, the Dialga against us, is going to be an interesting one for you. This is actually an interesting thing here. In general, the matchup against the Dialga, there is not really a perfect way to play it. What you can do is, as Zacian, is you can let the first move go through and just go for 2 close combat before, because you can take 1 Iron Head before the opponent really going to knock you out. Here, of course, it's going to be a very good one for the Yveltal, as you're going to be able to lock in the opponent's Giratina here. I'm going to get to 100 energy again. This player literally knows what they're doing. They have definitely a lot of experience with this team as well, as it looks like so far. We're going to see a Shadow Ball coming through, and again, you can farm them all the way down here, which is going to be decent. You're actually going to throw before. I think they would have got to another charge move. I think that they would have survived one more Snarl, which would have been a little bit deadly for you. So, great play there. Could have thrown the charge move here, which would have helped you out a little bit. Oh, they catch the move here on the Lugia. But what you can do here actually is stay in. Like, it doesn't really matter too much. It's actually Shadow Lugia as well. You can just stay in here, go for the wild shot even, or you're going to catch the move here as well, which is going to be as fine as well. But yeah, both moves would have been fine here, but this is going to be a very decent one for you right now, because you have so much energy still on your Zacian. You're going to have your Dialga now, which can just go for 1 Iron Head actually to knock out the opponent's Lugia. You're going to go for the full farm there and going to knock them out straight away. They are now in range for 1 close combat as well, and you have already 2 basically stored. This is going to be a very good game again. Very well played as well. As you're going to see now the next opponent coming up, you're going to see Zacian against Zacian. You have to stay in here. Let's see if it's Snarl. It is Snarl, which makes this matchup way better for you. But also you can just go ahead and let the first move go through, which is amazing for you as well. Go for 1 more fast move and then go for your own wild charge, I would say. here I would have went for one more fast move, because you get basically just one free fast move anyway. It doesn't really matter. Here, okay, you're gonna go for the charge move immediately to try to win the CMP tie, which worked out pretty well. They went for their own charge move here, which might be a close combat. It's a wild charge. They actually don't run close combat at all, which is interesting. And at this point of time, you can just go ahead, shield this move up as well. Could have also let this move go through because of double debuff, but you're going to be able to now go ahead and go for one charge move. I think this was a golden go. It is a golden go, which sadly gets basically completely walled by Yveltal. You have to go straight for the Dark Bolts though. Okay, you lose CMP there. They're going to have the move Focus Blast, of course. That's why I meant that you should have went there a little bit earlier, because golden go definitely does a lot of damage with this move here. You're going to be able to still get to another Dark Pulse against the opponent's Zacian, which is nice, but you would have been able to survive this matchup before with some more health. As we're going to see now, the Lugia coming in. Yeah, there is not a lot that the opponent can really do here, I think, at this point of time. They're actually going to let this move go through. That's an interesting play. Didn't really expect this. You should definitely go into your Dialga here, which you're also going to do, because charge move is going to be all resisted here. Even if they go for the Aero Blast, this is going to be fine. You can get up to one Iron Head, maybe then even swap out here. Let's see what you're going to do. You're going to stay in here just now. I guess it's actually the correct play. Staying in here is definitely the correct play, as you're going to force the opponent to throw a charge move here, which is going to be a Sky Attack. They should still need 3 more fast moves to get to the next one, and this will not be enough exactly for them to, like, in terms of the health, to get to that one, so it's going to be a good game. Next opponent, Kyogre in the lead. This is going to be an interesting matchup, actually. It's usually fairly neutral, but because you have Wild Charge now, this is going to do around like 80% damage. So it's going to be amazing for you, as you can actually catch the move from the opponent as well. This is just disgusting so far. Like, honestly, it's just wild how strong you play those games here. You can go ahead and go for an Iron Head. That's going to do a ton of damage still, but you should just try to get the shield here. Gonna put them low as well. Not really putting them into any farm down range with your Pokemon. Neither Snarl or Quick Attack will be enough to farm down this Dialga. So you're going to be forced to throw a charge move eventually here. So you're going to shield up the charge move from the opponent, which is definitely a smart play here. They're going to get to another one as well. What are you going to do here? Are you going to double shield? You're going to double shield here the Iron Heads, as you can now overfarm quite a bit. Because you, of course, know the opponent going to be energy dry. You cannot have more than 100 energy, and one Iron Head is 50 energy, and they went basically back to back. So yeah, we're going to see here a Giratina. This might be actually a little bit awkward if they have Ancient Power, and they do have Ancient Power. And they get the boost. Like, it couldn't get any worse anymore right now. You can at least still go for the Dark Pulse. They're going to shield this move up here, but it's looking really, really bad for you, as the Ancient Power here going to do so much damage against you. Like, if they didn't do this, definitely should have been an easier game for you, as the Dark Pulse would have done way more damage. You don't get to the next one, but they're going to swap for whatever reason, clearing their boost. I don't really understand. You have to swap out here. You have to overfarm the 2 charge moves here as well. Ancient Power shouldn't do that much damage against you, and they don't get the next boost. You have to go for the Wild Charge here twice in order to knock them out. Let's see if you can get there. You're going to get to one, and you're still going to get to another one, which is going to be very, very nice for you. This is going to knock them out just barely, but honestly, the boost nearly killed you the game there. As you see in Ho in the lead, you can try again to go for the CMP tie, I guess, which you might want to do again, which you're going to... I think it was not a CMP tie, but you're going to be able to go for the Wild Charge, and you will be able to get another fast move through here, and just shield up their own Sacred Fire coming through. At least now you're going to get the attack debuff, which is definitely something that you should have gotten before in terms of the chances, but this is very good, of course, if you don't get it. You're going to shield this move up. Actually, I would have let this move go through if I was you, but hey, that's definitely an interesting play, as you're now going to be able to farm down, which might help you out as well, because you can now realign, which is maybe even the better play, especially if they're gonna go to the Lugia right now. And you're going to keep even the charge move, which is fine, because here, in this scenario, swapping out does make a lot of sense, because you know already that both the Pokemon in the back for you will be very decent against the Lugia, so it doesn't really matter if you go into your Dialga first or into your Yveltal. So here, swapping into the Dialga definitely has a lot of play. We see the opponent's Dialga coming in, and this is going to be a tough one now to win. Don't know if there's any chance for you unless you can get to 2. I don't think there's a chance of you winning this game here anymore. I think there's going to be a loss here for the end. Let's take a look at this one. Unless the opponent makes some really questionable play, which I don't see it really coming here. We're going to see the Dark Bolts coming through. We're going to do some decent damage, but again, not enough. They can go for one Draco and just knock you out straight away. They go for the Draco as well. They can even swap out if they wanted to, but honestly, yeah, Lugia coming in here, that's going to be a good game. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Yveltal looks like a lot of fun in the current meta. A lot of Lugia, a lot of Mewtwo, a lot of Golden Go, a lot of Pokemon that you can deal with. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Otherwise, you're going to see my latest video on the left side where I hit 2,900 rating with the Shadow Mawile, as well as you're going to see on the right side the top teams for the new cup coming up here right now. So, bye-bye.